I like these. This is my new thing. Good morning, everyone. Uh, I have a headphone on this time so that you guys don't have to hear voiceover. It's early, so most of you are probably watching after the fact. This live stream is probably gonna go on for a few hours. Just FYI. I'm gonna Today I'm gonna walk 6.1 miles. Speaking of which, I need to do something. Start walking workout. There you go. Yeah. So the topic for today's live is assistive technology. This is getting really good, and I want it all. I just can't afford it all. So I talked on yesterday's live about the new Victor Reader. What's this thing? The mobility assistant device. It's supposed to be like a companion device to a Victor Reader. It's like for mobility only. I don't know if it has the book features. I'm not sure. But I want it because it's got really accurate GPS, more than the phone. It has like the same waypoints that the Trek does, except it's not using the clock like go 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock to as the directions. It's actually going to be more accurate because it has dual band GPS, and that's one thing I want to talk about. Like I like that thing. That thing is really cool. It even has an OCR camera so that it can read signs. One thing I struggle with a lot, I got my glasses that make me see from far away, which I'll get to that in a minute. But the thing is, I kind of want to be able to see the signs that are above my head, which I cannot. They're just awkwardly placed. And this thing reads them, the new mobility device for human wear. I'm gonna get it probably sometime in October because you know what? I freaking want it, and I can't hold off. But yeah, that's coming, and I'm excited for that. There's more stuff though. Now there's things right now that I'm using that I really enjoy. That I don't know if you guys are aware of. With Google Maps and Apple Maps, you get augmented navigation directions. So say there's like it takes you somewhere and there's three separate doors, and it tells you have to walk through this door to get to this place. For example, in a mall or something, it'll actually augment the floor where you're walking, and it'll show the arrow. Hey, go this way, and it'll like point exactly which of the doors. I enjoy it. I really like it. That's awesome. Uh, it's actually something that I use all the time now when I'm using navigation, and that's something that we can use now. Um, that's really cool. I kind of like to just kind of talk about these things. It's just getting so good, and that's one of the ones that are actually free. Like you can get that right now. The other thing that is actually paid that I'm like, I want it. There's these glasses. I saw the prototype at the NFB conference a few years ago, and they're actually out now. It's like some glasses with a magnification on them, and yeah, they require a battery. I kind of want to get that too. Like that thing is crazy. You can zoom in like it's like having a digital camera, um, like with a digital zoom, so that you can actually zoom in more, and you can have it overlay the signs to make them more legible. Yeah, that thing is awesome, and a lot of this tech is just getting so good, and there's more coming. Um, we know that right now, Oculus, they're on the second one, the Quest 2, there's a lot, they need to improve the cameras on that thing. But that thing can do some really, really interesting augmentation stuff. One of them being just to understand, for example, when you're doing like mobility lessons and you're not ready to cross, but you can practice in your house, and then eventually you can move on to a full um, experience. Like there's these things that just help the assistive technology world. Like I don't know how to explain it, but I'm excited for how the augmented and virtual reality stuff affects our community. Um, yeah, it's gonna be awesome, and there's more coming. Like right now, the key thing is the neural engine. Um, I think it's gonna be awesome. Okay, there we go. I just pulled up the chat so that I can be able to access it. Yeah, I imagine right now there's said 0 people. It's early, so yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff for accessibility coming. And I want to update my Braille app too, um, to teach the app that I have to teach the sighted, and accidentally now it's teaching the blind as well. It was a request from a user to be voiceover friendly. Um, so it is, and yeah, I've actually got quite a bit of users who are totally blind who are learning Braille on their phone, which is kind of I was not expecting that to be a use case, but it was. So yeah, the technology is so powerful when it comes to that. Like now we have people learning Braille from their phone, and eventually, I mean, what else can our phone do that we can use for assistive technology just through an app? Because these devices, man, I mean, they're awesome, but we are getting to the point where we less and less need physical devices, and we can just use our phone. Sometimes it's just more comfortable to have a separate device for certain things. Like I just want the human wear one, because I'm curious. Like it's dual band GPS and it's got a ton of features that I mean, my phone can do. I can code that in a month. I can just make my own app that does the same thing. But do I want to put effort into that? No. If it's already there, why am I going to reinvent the wheel? I thought about making the app, the new mobility device. I thought about before it came out, like years ago. Okay, should I make the app? But there's already enough apps for that. Like Microsoft has their thing. It's I forget the name of the app. Microsoft has a really cool app. I don't like the UI, but it's usable. Um, and yeah, but HumanWare is gonna do it better because they have access to the hardware. When it's an accessibility device that has its own hardware, I feel like sometimes it's just better in certain scenarios. But if you cannot get the device, then your phone can do virtually the same thing. Whoa, somebody came walking by with a big gun. Anyway, talk about where I'm going. Yesterday, I walked north, and I walked about 3.8, 3.9 miles, something like that. Today, we're doing 6.1 miles. Maybe walking back. I might walk back. Maybe. Or, I don't know. But, yeah. My goal today is 6.1 miles. Roughly 6 miles, but 6.1 is what I usually get when I do this route. Yeah, zero watching. It's alright. I'm just gonna keep this thing running. Even if it's zero watching, I'm still gonna continue this. Because, you know what? I can. This is awesome. These morning walks are the best thing, honestly. When you work sitting at your desk all day, Monday to Friday, 10 to 12 hours a day, in the weekends, you just want to. This wind is not letting me. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. It's kind of windy. Yeah, after working 10 to 12 hours a day on the computer, in the weekends, it feels so good to just get out. I mean, it does. It really, really feels good to get out. Getting out means that by Monday morning, I'm fresh. All right. This is awesome. The city's starting to wake up. People starting to walk around. It's kind of funny. As soon as the sun starts rising, people start coming out. Oh, dude, this is awesome. There's a hotel near my house that is actually really cool. They have really cool restaurants. It's a Hilton, uh, and it's I think it's coming up soon. Or I already passed it. I don't remember, but that hotel, it's got some really cool stuff. Hilton to me is like the most accessible hotel, by the way, when it comes to accessibility. Because digital room key, uh, and it can kind of you can just keep the app open, and when you walk in front of your room, it'll unlock, and then you're like, "Whoop! I just hit my room." Then you gotta figure out is it right or left. But they got the braille sign, so. But it's cool to use the app for digital key, and you can just kind of figure out which one is your room. And you get it on your phone. I like it. The digital room key experience is nice. This, I'll show you. This is the view I have to my left. It's awesome. I got the sun. The sun is actually rising. So to my left, for those that are totally blind, I just pointed at. Mainly, you can see sidewalk and some bushes, but behind that, there's really, really cool sunrise. I'll stop on the beach exit here in a minute. I'll point the camera out again. Today's one of those days where I'm considering just going to. There's a mall that is in the route, And I might go to that mall afterwards because there's an Apple store, and I like going to Apple stores. They're a hangout area now, which is I like that. It's not realistically. I just gave Apple a ton of money, so um, I'm not going to spend anything. But you know what? I'm going to sit there and just enjoy the Apple Store vibes. It's kind of funny how things change. When I was a kid, I would go to see the tech. I would be like, oh man, I want to see the tech. I just, oh, I don't have this, but I want this. Right now, it's kind of dumb. Like, dude, the only thing I don't have that I shouldn't want because I don't need is the new display. Not the, I have the studio. The what? Not, this, the Pro Display XDR. I don't know why it wasn't coming to me. But yeah, that's the only. I go there and I look at the Mac Pro and the Pro Display XDR. And I'm like, someday Apple, I will buy this. But I'll wait till a decade in the future where Apple silicon is mature and it goes into the Pro, or Ultra lineup. Probably gotta be called Mac Ultra, not Mac Pro. I don't know. Because now everything's Ultra. Like the M1 Ultra is a high CPU. Um, I'm surprised the iPhone's still Max and the iPhone Pro Ultra would sound weird. Yeah, I don't know. It's I don't understand the naming scheme of Apple. It's weird. I get they're trying to make they had it pretty good, and they should have called the Apple Watch Pro. Leave the Ultra name to the CPU architecture, Apple Silicon. I don't know. It just it doesn't make sense. Oh, we've been live for 17 minutes. Oh, by the way, my Apple Watch Ultra. You guys won't be getting the unboxing anytime soon because for my delivery it says November uh 18th through the 28th. So yeah, I'm not gonna get my Apple Watch to probably till end of October, early November. Because Apple always they always over deliver. They give you a date and then they'll deliver it earlier if they can. So I'd probably say early November. Well, you know what? That's a birthday gift to myself. Early November, I'll probably be getting the watch. So sad that AT&T just didn't let me pre-order on Wednesday. They had me wait till Friday because they clearly don't care about their customers. Clearly, they don't realize that now all AT&T customers that order the watch through AT&T have to wait a ridiculous amount of time. Maybe they surprise me and I get it on launch day, but I highly doubt that. Highly doubt it. I love it. Um, Today's one of those mornings where it's there's people walking, but it's not that many. Like sometimes I'll see large groups of people running marathons and stuff on the beach. Huh. This building has like a garage, and there's the sun peeking its head. It's coming out, nice and orange. Hey, one watching, hello. Welcome to the live stream. Two watching, hello. This is cool. Okay, looks like we're getting some people. Yeah, the topic for this live is actually just how good accessibility is getting, how good assistive technology is getting. Um, yeah, earlier I was mentioning that this human wear mobility device, there's more content coming out about it, and this thing is just really accurate. And I'm thinking, okay, this is just one, right? This is one device, but then there's glasses too, magnification, and I'm like, man, they're so good that I just and it's just they're so good that now you have options. I mean, it's a lot of this is thanks to AI that we're able to do this. A lot of these accessibility devices, and AI is getting mature enough to where we can actually get really cool stuff. But with the new mobility device from HumanWare, I was looking at some videos, and this thing it even detects like faces. According to the video, um, it'll it had some descriptions of things. I'm like, man, this thing is awesome. I wonder how much time it took them to train the machine model, basically like the AI used in that. How long did it take them to train it? Because I've tried running the AI stuff from Apple, and just to get a simple app, I tried to do like a detecting stairs and sidewalks and curbs. It took me 3 days just to get it to do sidewalks, and it wasn't doing it right, so I just scrapped it. But man, these companies, shout out to their engineers. So yeah, this device is awesome. I cannot wait. Um, yeah, the person was like coming up to a street sign, and it was saying, you have arrived. It was to a shopping mall or something. It says you have arrived at your destination, and they point the device to the sign, like they just point it forward, and it'll search for the sign of the store, and it'll confirm. It'll even confirm that you're in the right location. That's a loud bike, dude. It'll even confirm that you're in the right place. If the address doesn't match, I don't know what it'll do, but it confirms it, which is great. Yeah, so I mean, that device has me. That device is not on my mind. I'll tell you that. The other thing that's on my mind, which I'm pretty sure it's probably out by now, that I saw at a event in NFB conference. I think it was the one in Vegas a few years ago, 2019. Uh, this thing had the event had this company. It was just this dude and the developer, and they have these glasses that are already out. I've seen. You can purchase them. They essentially have a camera, and they can magnify things using a control. They even have like color filters and everything. And all you have to do is just put them on, and you have to have a battery pack in your pocket. At least at the time, maybe I don't know. But the battery pack has to go in your pocket probably still because You need battery to make it last. But that thing is awesome. I'm excited for that too. Like just to, oh yeah, I can see 2020 because I can zoom in as much as I want. There you go. Here's a beach view. Yeah, so right now I'm pointing at a beach view, some sunrise, and some bushes. Yeah, it's gonna be great. I'm gonna stop doing that because I do not want to film people. So, yeah, that's another thing that it's getting so exciting in the space of assistive technology. Um, One thing that is really nice is the NFC. Yeah, the NFC tags. I have an app that I use for NFC. I actually wrote it myself because this other dude made it a great NFC app for the blind, but he was making his own proprietary NFC tags. And I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? You're charging $20 for 10 tags. I wrote that up in an hour, published it to the App Store because who wants to pay that much for NFC tags? My app will work with any NFC tags, and I have a ton of them. Like when I moved last year, I put tags on my boxes, and I just opened up my app and scanned the tags. You know what? It was a great thing. So yeah, assistive technology is just, man, I'm in awe of what we can do, and even as a developer, like the tools that are provided to make great things. All right. Yeah, if you need um, voiceover, with Android TalkBack, it's pretty bad. Zoom is okay, but not great. Yeah, Apple does it best. Android's gesture focused software. Zoom is like a triple tap with one finger and pan with two fingers. But if you triple tap too slow or too fast, you may hit another touch target. So I don't know. I like Android, but accessibility. That's why I have an iPhone, and that's why my career has been based on the iPhone because Apple does it right. Yeah, let's see how this series does. The Walk and Talk series. This is the second episode. So right now, I think the peak amount of views while live is one or two, sometimes three. But then after the fact, like the video from yesterday got 30 views, which is kind of on the low side. Granted, it's our community, so it looks like I still need to make YouTube shorts to target like the sighted community. So I think I'm gonna start doing that. Just targeting both communities by doing different type of content. Um, I'm gonna put the camera down because I do not feel comfortable with people walking in front of me. Yeah, that's something when I'm live, I'm very courteous about where I'm pointing the camera. I don't like just like how I'm out and about. I don't like to be filmed. I imagine people are the same. So you'll see the sidewalk until we get past us. We just dropped. Yeah, looks like with these lives, people are getting the idea. You can just pop in and out whenever you want. And I'm just gonna be here rambling, walking. That's kind of the point of these. Is just people can pop in and out whenever they want, and it's always gonna be available afterwards as well. Did I hit the first mile? Oh, I guess I closed my activity, right? Because I hit half an hour. 30 minutes, 86, almost a mile, 189. I think we're safe to point the camera. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, it's just this 1 mile. We got 5 to go. Yeah, this is so. What makes this easy? These walks. At first, when I was getting used to the area, uh, something that I always say, utilizing the tech that you have. Like when at the beginning, I used the the Victory to trek to kind of get used to the area. I marked the waypoints. Um, I marked some waypoints, and then I eventually, like I utilized a little bit of my visual impairedness to see the landmarks, and that helps now. But anytime I go to a new area, I like taking the Victor Reader because I can mark my way back. Even though it it wasn't exactly accurate, it was accurate enough, at least for my use. Oh, look at this. Man, these are some sunrises right here. We got the ocean and the yellow sun. Yeah, it's it's awesome to if this one would go away. Uh, yeah, it's awesome to utilize assistive technology. But with this new Victor Reader, I'm curious how much better it's gonna be than the track when it comes to waypoints. Even though the new Apple Watch has waypoints now too, like it'll backtrack. I think it's called backtrack, or I forgot the name, but basically it's for hikers. But I see myself using it in a new area. Uh, I see myself using it because I could backtrack my steps and actually go back exactly the same route to go back wherever I want to go. It's on the new Apple Watch Series 8 and Pro. I'm excited for that backtrack. So yeah, backtrack is a feature that even though they have it on the Victor Reader and the new mobility device for HumanWare, it's also on the Apple Watch. But the Apple Watch is mainly aimed for hikers. The only thing that sucks is that the CCTVs have become obsolete for me. I don't know about you guys. Have you guys used a CCTV anymore? Um, I haven't touched one in almost a decade. 2014, I think. Uh, high school, last year of high school. I touched it. I needed it for math because they didn't let me use my phone. And I, I'll tell you what, I haven't touched it anymore because the phone camera is good enough. So that's one assistive device that just haven't gotten anything. Oh no, I had that other thing. No wait, 2016, 2017, I think. No, 2014. Like a desktop CCTV, but I had this other thing that was like an Android tablet with a CCTV, which it was bad. It broke. I talked to the owner, to the product owner of it, and I told him very politely, I'm like, hey, Why didn't you do USB-C? He said because it was too late for product. I requested it and it was too late. I'm like, fine, okay, I'll pass you that. I get it. You know, miscommunication between product and design. I got you. Why are you using a crappy Nikon camera when you could be using a optical zoom camera that is a fraction of the cost? Dude started stuttering. I'm like, you know what? Fine. I'm not gonna. I just returned it because that thing. I mean, I don't want to. I don't want to hate on the product because I'm an engineer myself. I don't like when people, shit on my product, and have no reason, right? Like I have reasons, but I still don't like to do that. And that CCTV, that was the last of it, man. It just after that thing, 2016 or 17, I stopped using it. Like I just returned it. I'm like, dude, it won't charge. The USB-C doesn't do power delivery. The USB-C was just for data transfer. That's what it was. I'm like, why doesn't it do power delivery? And then I don't know. When they designed the motherboard, they missed the trace. And then like, what is it there? They're going to do it like, yeah, you can solder a jumper to one wire to another, and you can get USB-C power delivery, but it'll only do it at 15 watts. You know what? I get it. I hope they improved any future versions of it. I mean, I'm pretty sure now Humanware has CCTVs that use USB-C for charging, but at the time, USB-C was actually getting popular, and I mean, kind of this little barrel connector. And nowadays, everything's just USB-C, so I'm happy about that. Everything's USB-C now. But at the time, that CCTV, that was the last of it. But I feel like audio devices are still good. Audio, assistive technology, anything that has to do like listening, mobility. Uh, I'm talking about in the blind and VI space. I don't know about any other disabilities with other assistive devices, but I'm talking about in our domain, in the blind and VI community. Audio devices and braille devices are really good right now. Especially the braille devices. It was just crazy. There was a time, I think it was the Brilliant 14. It was the one that had like the keys and then the screen in the middle, and it was like a full PC. I, at the time, didn't know braille. I know braille now because of the app that I have. I have to know braille to write the app. Uh, that thing, I mean, I look at the new modern ones. I'm like, man, those things look good. Like, I don't need it, but man, I should get it to review on the channel because it's so sleek. It looks so good. I mean, they even think about like the fashion statement for these things. I had a talk with an engineer at a conference a while back. I was using a Braille Touch, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I just have a Raspberry Pi connected with a power bank to my Braille Touch." I'm like, dude, that's the coolest setup ever. If you don't know what a Raspberry Pi is, it's a tiny little microcomputer that is used for robotics and like um, certain small tasks like running scripts for coding and just they use it for all sorts of stuff, right? And this dude had like a battery pack connected to his braille note. And I'm like, man, that's just inspirational. And you can have a really cool setup. You don't need to plug the Pi into it. It was a Bluetooth. You could have had the Raspberry Pi computer in his backpack or whatever, put it somewhere else and just use his Braille note independently. And even then, if you want to jump back to Windows, you could, and then jump back to the Pi. So that was really, really neat setup. think the uh, assistive technology space, because right now you think most things will run you. The cheapest is the Victor Reader, non-truck. I think that's $299. The truck is like $600, I think. The new mobility one is like 1,500, 1,600 US dollars. So yeah, it could go down. You can choose to just have a phone that does a lot of these things instead of having one device for each of them. But you still need braille devices, you know. You still need a dedicated mobility devices like the one from HumanWare. But I understand why the HumanWare one is at that price. Dual GPS antennas, OCR, like it's just, and there's no subscription service. That's what's incredible. There's no, from what I understand, there's no subscription service. Which, damn, it's all done locally on device. That's powerful. So yeah, that's there's some domain for affordable assistive technology, but it's not getting so good. Right now, I'll tell you what, my favorite assistive tech that I own right now is my Galaxy Fold. Because I can just, if I need to read an email, so my iPhone is my utility, right? Like my iPhone, I will gravitate to it naturally, but I'm like, okay, if I need to read something and I can't use VoiceOver for whatever reason, or I want to watch a YouTube video, I'll use the Fold because it's bigger. So if I'm like, oh, I need to work for my job on the go, I'll use my phone. I'll grab my iPhone. But if I'm like, oh, I need to watch a video, make it bigger. You know, if VoiceOver wasn't a thing on iPhone, then I would probably use the Fold for reading long content. But I try to, stick to, if I can use VoiceOver, I'll use it. All right. I hope you guys are able to hear because it's so windy. Today's one of those just windy days, but I like that it's windy because it's not blistering hot. Huh. The live streams, oh, they're cleaning the beach. That's awesome. They walk around cleaning everything. That's so cool. Yeah. One thing that they're using in malls now with the phone that is probably one of the things that everybody should use, but we don't know how to utilize it correctly yet. And me as a developer, I should do the app, uh, but I haven't put any effort into it. But iBeacons are really cool. iBeacons is something that we have yet to tap into the full power of iBeacons. You can see the iBeacons when you open up maps and you're in the mall. A lot of those stores are just iBeacons. Um, they just kind of broadcast their location to Google Maps, Apple Maps. But you can use iBeacons really, really, really good. And say you're in the mall and you have the app open, you can have it search for iBeacons and tell you on your left is this, on your right is this. Um, in the center, you have this. So like, I don't know, iBeacons can be really useful. I haven't put any effort into it, but there was orientation thing that Apple did with their developers and some other people on the FB conference. Was it Apple? Wait, hold on. Was it Google? I don't remember now. Anyway, it was a discussion about iBeacons. That was 2015. It was great. I really enjoyed that conversation. And look at us now. 7 years later, we still haven't utilized iBeacons to their fullest. And honestly, that's a shame because we can utilize it even better. You know, for assistive technology, we can utilize it really, really well. Ah, here's the hotel that I was talking about. They even keep the door open so that tourists can go in and eat in their restaurants and stuff. It's probably the only hotel that is really inviting that has like the door open. Everyone else has like a code to get into their hotel from the beach side. The Apple Watch, I cannot answer and keep the live going. I think to start live streaming from the fold so that I can keep my iPhone open for 25. You know what? I'll tell you what. This this live stream, I like it because it makes time go by really quick. But yeah, as I was talking about iBeacons, um, we really need to utilize iBeacons more for assistive technology. I mean, it's good. It's getting really good, but somehow nobody's tapped into that potential completely. You know who has them? Believe it or not, Disney. They give you an iPod Touch, and it's got an app on it, and then you just kind of go on the rides, and it'll use iBeacons to talk to you about the ride as you're going through it, like audio description for that ride, and yeah, I like it a lot. It's really really good. Besides that, I haven't seen anyone else really utilize iBeacons well. There was a company that had iBeacons that you can put in stores, and they had an app, but I haven't seen that anymore. I'm only for like select places. Like I want to do something. I want to utilize iBeacons like in a popular way. Just make it so that you can use iBeacons. You can make your own iBeacons. Um, you can just buy professional iBeacons and place them in your store or in a mall. I feel like there's so many ways we can use that. Do I have Siri voices? I haven't used. So I think the Siri voices with voiceover, some of them are default. I used to use the decompressed Siri voice that you have to download it. But nowadays, I haven't used the Siri voices in a long time, actually. It just, but if you want to, I think you have to download them in accessibility settings. Uh, you can get the default, or you could use, I think it's uncompressed voices. I try to use the uncompressed voices because they sound better. Yeah, it's just the uncompressed voices do sound better. Nowadays, it's a little different. I think some voices already are uncompressed by default. The new voices on iOS 16 are decompressed already, which is great. I know the Alex voice, all these voices. I think I don't remember. Did I have to download them? I don't remember, but generally, either you have to download it once. But before, it was like you had decompressed. What the heck is that thing? This is weird. Is that a bush? Is that a? I don't know what that is. Um, yeah, I haven't used them, but if you do, use decompress. Yeah, uncompressed is actually great. Uncompressed voices. I think Apple calls them uncompressed. I think I haven't checked in a long time. I wonder how far I am. I haven't even checked. I don't like to check because I'm like, oh man, it's been taking so long. Okay, so I've been walking for almost an hour. We're at 1.53 miles. Still have about another hour and a half to go. Now I'm curious because I'm talking. I'm curious um if I walk slower or not. I'm gonna time myself today. See, usually it takes me about 3 hours and 10 minutes to do the total route. I might have to go offline at some point and just walk because I need to call my mother back. But I'm gonna keep this thing going for a little longer. On iOS 16, check back in the GM version. Um, the GM version has it's the final build that's going to be going out to the customer. So if it's not on the GM, then they've removed them. Probably for that exact reason, because they were compressed voices, and I think they're getting rid of compressed voices, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, check that out. If it's still there, if it came back, if it's not there in this GM version that came out on Wednesday, then they're gone. I haven't checked because I've been so happy with the Alex voice. To be honest, Alex has been like that's it. I haven't had the need to go into that menu since I got beta 1 of iOS 16. We're entering a construction zone. Nah, I don't know. iOS 16 is the betas. We always have to. Sometimes they'll remove it and they'll add it again. So yeah, check back and see what the latest. Man, okay. This is open, I think. So they're dumping more sand. I think they were doing construction in my area, and now they're doing construction in another area. They're making the beach bigger. Man, I almost bumped into this thing. That's the funny thing about being visually impaired is I see something last minute and I almost bump into it. Like how many times those things I almost bump into? It's kind of funny. I'm like, ooh, I'm about to bump into this. Two watching, hello. One more person in the party. Alright. And if you guys want to get the iOS 16.1 beta, I think I saw it on my iPad. I don't know if it's on the iPhone. I haven't checked. But 16.1 beta, they got it on the iPad. Probably the iPhone will come eventually as well. I'm kind of curious what's coming up in 16.1, except the dynamic island. I'm curious on that, by the way. How is the dynamic island on the iPhone 14 Pro? How is it gonna behave with VoiceOver? I'm not a fan of how we launched the notification center and the control center from with VoiceOver right now. I think it could be a little better. I kind of made my own gesture. I just go to the time and I just kind of slide down, or go to the signal, slide down, double tap and hold and slide down. It just feels better. But honestly, they should revamp those gestures. And I'm curious how. Okay, so to the left is notifications. To the right is control center. Are you gonna now? Will it just say dynamic island? Swipe down to reveal dynamic island. What are they gonna do? I'm kind of curious how the dynamic island is gonna behave with VoiceOver. I'm gonna make a video on that when I get it. I'm excited for the iPhone 14. I am getting that next week, by the way. Yeah, we're gonna have video on that. I need to figure out how that dynamic island behaves with VoiceOver, and also with Zoom. How is Zoom gonna behave when you're zoomed in? Is it just how's it? Is it gonna just zoom it in and not? Because the animation looks really good, but then when you zoom in, the animation goes out. Like it's no longer in the notch area when you zoom in. So I'm curious how the dynamic island thing is gonna work. So that'll be interesting. iOS 16. I don't know. It's gonna be cool. Now the best mobility and like travel earphones, in my opinion, are out. The new AirPods Pro. I'm excited. So that's actually I considered an assistive tool because of the fact that transparency is available. So essentially, when you're walking around, uh, you can use transparency when you're out and about, and you can use noise cancellation when you need it, and it doesn't interfere with your mobility, so you can hear your surroundings really well. Even now, like I have the Beats Studio Buds. That's what I have right now. And I'll tell you one thing, I don't like them. I bought them because they're the best thing before AirPod Pros, and I wasn't gonna spend money on AirPod Pros knowing that there was some new ones coming. And that was last year. That was December of 2021. I got these things because my AirPods Pro just gave out on me, and it was like, okay, I could get it because I was having issues with the left. Thank you. With the left earbud and the case, and I'm like, seriously, I might spend $200 because it's $100 per replacement, right? I'm like, no, dude, I'm just gonna. I already replaced the right earbud. That'd be $300 down the drain trying to get AirPods to. So I decided, you know what? I'm just going to do. I'm just gonna get the Beats Studio Buds for 150 and wait till the new AirPods Pro. And effectively, pre-ordered those things as soon as they came out because those are the best mobility device. The Beat Studio Buds, I feel like I'm plugging my ear, and it does. And if I enable noise transparency, it sounds awful. You can hear the wind crackling. With the AirPods Pro, you do not hear the wind crackling at all when you have transparency enabled. So I'm excited for that. Oh, by the way, for those who want larger phones, you do not have to go for the Pros anymore. They have the 14 Pro, the 14 Plus, so that's cool. That is really awesome. All right, let me see. What are we? What time are we? All right, I'm gonna end it here. We've zeroed out in our views. Thank you guys for watching. I may come back later if I have another topic to talk about or something. I'm gonna start going live randomly uh, whenever I get in the mood to do it, which may start being a daily thing, or I don't promise daily, but I want to do this more. See you guys.